really pleased today to have with us Teresa Maldonado Marchak, who is a Pilates instructor, also a physical therapist, and really expert in the use of Pilates for bone health and for those with osteoporosis. Teresa has a wonderful DVD and has done a great deal of work seeing how can we modify Pilates to be really useful and safe for women with osteoporosis. So today, Teresa, welcome to our little chat.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm coming to you from California, and it's sunny today.
I wish we could say the same here in New York. Teresa, you've been doing this Pilates for bone health for a long time. We have thousands of women who are interested in exercise, all kinds of exercise. Can you tell me the 3 or 4 ways that you've seen Pilates help women with osteoporosis?
Well, Pilates is wonderful because there's a specific emphasis on alignment and core strength, and both of those things are very, very important. It's also known as a mind, body, spirit approach. So it's not mindless exercise, but it's exercise where you're really taking attention and focus on yourself, on your body, and doing things carefully and correctly.
You know, we classify it as one of the mindful exercises like yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong. And we're finding that these mindful exercises really can build bone strength, build muscle, but also reduce cortisol and reduce the hormones of distress. And, of course, help one to be more conscious of in their everyday activities and movements. That's really excellent. So you see that it has a lot of potential to help women with bone health issues?
Yes, it does. And sometimes, I don't know if this happens with you, but I know with me, sometimes people come to me and they say, well, you know, is Pilates safe?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And what I say to them is modified Pilates is safe. So if somebody, say, goes into a typical gym or their Y to take a group Pilates class, I would tell them 60% of the exercises would be contraindicated for someone with bone loss.
Wow, you think it's as high as 60%?
It is as high as percent, absolutely. And that's looking at Joe Pilates mat work, and I'm speaking specifically of mat work.
Mat work, okay.
And looking at that, 60% of his exercises in the book that he wrote involves something called Flexion, which is a rounding of the spine, and that's something that people with low bone density should avoid.
Well, you know,
and there are studies backing that.
Yes, that's right. We always tell people that these bending forward exercises are a problem if you have a weak spinal bone density and you want to extend up. But it's very interesting that you've had to sort of extensively modify Pilates to make it safe for people with osteoporosis.
Yes, yes.
And so, this is what you show in your videos and your DVDs and the classes that you give.
Exactly. In my approach is the BoneSmart Pilates method, and my DVD highlights this method, and it's a very simple, it can be honed down in a nutshell to an A, B, C format. So it's really
Okay. How does that go? What's A stand for?
Okay, the A stands for alignment. And so I talk about avoiding flexion. So examples of flexion might be reaching down to touch your toes. And I want to pull my hair out when I hear Dr. Oz talking about getting up in the morning and jumping down to touch your toes, because that's not recommended for the majority of boomers and people over 50. Let's see, what did you ask me?
Well, that's the A now. What's the B stand for?
Okay, so the A is alignment, and I give you specific tools for helping you to keep proper alignment. The B stands for balance, which is extremely important with osteoporosis because osteoporosis is really a big risk when you fall. So if you've got good balance and strong muscles, you decrease your risk substantially.
We always say that if you notice you have poor balance, really work on it, because most fractures do not occur unless one falls. And
That's
so,
correct.
great. So you have Pilates that gets alignment, balance, and what does C stand for?
The C stands for contraction.
Okay.
And there's a few sort of prisms to that word contraction. So it's muscle contraction in weight bearing, muscle contraction through resistance exercises, and the muscle contraction that occurs during impact exercise. So think stomping or jumping.
Right.
So those three pieces fall into the C.
That's a very great way to look at it. Alignment, balance, and contraction.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent.
It's easy to remember, yeah.
So you've been teaching BoneSmart Pilates for a long time. Just once again, just show me the movements that a person should avoid if they have osteoporosis. Just give me a little.
Okay, so I'm going to push my camera away a little bit so you can see me better.
Okay.
And keep that light here.
Okay.
And so the first one is rounding like this.
Okay, so right,
so
rounding over.
That's called flexion.
Okay.
So think that like if you were to round over to tie your shoes or pick up your pet with a stooped rounded spine, like a C spine.
Okay.
That would be something you want to avoid. And that's due, without going into too much science, it's due to the composition of the bones in the upper back. And that area between the shoulder blades is the area that's most prone to fracture. So if you're sitting or standing or picking something up in this stooped posture, you're increasing your risk considerably.
Right, okay, and it puts pressure on the vertebral body. So that, and you, in your DVD, you explain lots of Pilates people can do and modify Pilates so it's perfectly safe.
Yes, yes. And I talk in the DVD about how to use a dowel, a simple dowel, and you don't have to have a dowel. You could use a broomstick, whatever you have at home, and you just put it behind your back, and you find 3 points of contact. Your head, I'll move my hand like this, your head, your upper back, and your bottom.
Okay.
And so there should be space between your lower back and your neck. And then you can just bend at the hips and knees to get down low to pick up things.
I see. So you just flex at the hip.
Exactly. So it's called the hip hinging. And it's a wonderful strategy for sparing your spine and your bones and working in really good, strong alignment while engaging your core.
You know, well, here at the Center for Better Bones, we really like Pilates. We find people really respond, and I'm so glad to have this little video where you explain how it can be done safely. I certainly encourage everyone to get your DVD and your Pilates bundle, which has a DVD and a series of props and everything you need to get started at home. We certainly offer all of those in the BetterBones.com shop. And I want to thank you for all the years of work you've done to help bring Pilates to everyone, including women with a bone health concern. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Susan. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.